Yo, people everywhere, Liberians everywhere. This topic is about Liberian entertainment, and we want everyone to give an input tonight on this show, Royal Family TV. I have my special guests here, and others are still coming. So we will start from the top and introduce yourself, and we'll go to the next person.
Okay, so my name is Sonic. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an international artist, songwriter, and producer. I'm actually here chilling in my studio. But Victor told me about the whole show concept, and I'm very interested in it, and I'm willing to give my input. So that's why I'm here.
Uh, Next.
Uh, my name is Alan. Uh, I'm here to monitor the shows.
Are you serious? Okay, we got people coming on. Okay, we'll be talking about Liberia entertainment. Madison, please introduce yourself.
His name is P.K. Madison. He's a gospel artist. He just launched a recent album, and he got a lot of trading songs. Uh, he's legally married with kids, and one of the richest Liberian gospel artists within our
Oh,
community.
I do.
Yeah,
Soon,
introduce yourself, man.
soon to launch his a record label. I introduced him, man. What
No,
his
let
name is?
me talk about it.
All right,
the
let's
man,
see.
the man on the spot.
Yeah, good for you. You came late.
Well, okay, thank you so much, the Archbishop, for that introduction.
Hmm.
Uh, Indeed, my name is Pige. Call me Zulukume. I'm on Facebook, and I'm a Liberian gospel artist based in Charlotte, North Carolina. Um, yeah.
Okay. I want to say
You-
welcome everyone,
Oh,
and like I
hold on. Hold on. Let me mention it to you. Let me, you not stay so far. Okay. Let me introduce myself the way Pastor Do me introduce myself. My name is
okay.
PJ Madison Greer. I am married
yeah,
and I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Amen.
Okay, you
Yeah.
can we can go on.
Don't holler the pastor then when they're not married. Ugly women then when they go on public, they can say, for time's sake, let's go into the message quick.
Amen. Put you on black.
Yeah. So, people watching all what's alive. This is gonna be a fun show, but very important and very serious. And the question gonna go across. The question tonight, we are discussing why. Another guy just popping up, coming on. Okay. Hey, introduce yourself, boss.
Hello, my people. My name is Al Johnson, LIB Music CEO. What's going
Yeah.
on, Boss Victor? How are you?
Good. All right. So,
Peter tell
so
me they from Arizona too now.
yeah, I'm gonna turn your phone sideways. You know that.
Oh, wait, me, I know that now. You Christian? I know that. Okay, I'm asking.
Yeah. Now we're
You go
talking.
now. You go
Oh,
now.
let
Now
me
your
get.
phone is Arizona.
Yes,
I thought,
Arizona.
I thought what in Miami.
Yeah.
That new one, yeah, Arizona. What kind of man is
Yeah.
that?
So, okay. If you have a second device next to you, you can share the live. You can, but I'll try my best to share it from anywhere. And people watching, I want you to share the live too. Okay.
Yeah.
The question across the board. We're gonna do it one at a time, but it's the same question. Why Liberian music, or let's say Liberian entertainment, not music alone? Entertainment mean, it can be comedian, music, gospel, or whatever it is, entertainment, all offer under one umbrella. Why Liberian entertainment is not going anywhere? We're gonna start with Mr. Mizonic.
Well, I mean, that's a two-part answer. You know, you can't really just say it's not going anywhere because there are a lot of people who are contributing to the music industry or entertainment industry, and they have been making moves, but it's not enough. It's not enough, and it's not where we wanted to be. But with everything, I would say the few things that I see would be one, business. A lot of Liberian artists don't have managers, or they don't understand management. And if you don't understand management, then how can you run your music as a business? When it
Mm-hmm.
comes to music, especially in America, it's a lot of different facets. You have publishing, you have distribution, you have so many different things. You have nowadays you have like Spotify, iTunes. Before it was the whole CDs and putting your stuff in stores.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have touring, you have merchandise. So it's different facets that you have to pay attention to. And if someone doesn't understand how to really uh, monetize their music when it comes to those different levels or different facets, you're always going to feel like you're not moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So that's business is one of the most important things. Another thing would be sponsorship and investors. We don't have enough people who would say, you know what, I see this artist who is doing great. He has good products out. He has videos. He has good songs. Let me take $100,000 and invest in this artist to push him forward. You know,
Mm-hmm.
with the U.S. music market, it takes around between $100,000 to $200,000 to get one song to really go. When I mean go, to popularize that song on all media or on all mediums or media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have an investor pumping that kind of money into the artist, you're never really gonna have that uh, situation where your music is just popular everywhere. So those are just a few things, and the most simple things I would say right now would be things like you utilizing TikTok, Instagram, and as we see, like the dance craze, the dance craze is helping a lot of artists. We don't see Liberian women or Liberian girls just behind one artist song in droves. We do see it sometimes, but it might be only from artists from back home, but not necessarily. These are just a few things. I'll let the other guys speak. I don't want to be long winded, but I have other things, but let them go ahead and speak their minds.
Okay, Mr. Duo.
You can hear me?
Yeah,
Alea Hartman Peter.
thank you. So, what is your take? Why our entertainment is not going anywhere?
Uh, Lack of investment
Mm-hmm.
is the main thing. Let me just start from the general side. I will mostly speak on the gospel side, but let me
Mm-hmm.
just start from the general side first. In general,
Mm-hmm.
we as Liberians, we don't believe in branding ourselves.
Good idea.
We don't know what a brand is. That's one of the things that is killing us.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of branding our gift, our talent, our products, we have our own product and we're still using other people's brand on our products.
What does that mean?
Uh, like for instance, you have a Royal TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's your own company.
Mm-hmm.
In order for people to admire or follow your company, you must create your own brand of that particular company.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you must have your own color and you must believe in your color.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first aspect of branding. And every material that you will produce from that particular color must be of a high quality.
Mm-hmm.
That's the second thing. And this is why we are lack of when it comes to Liberian entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
All we want to do, the product should just go out there. I see the way filter way high. If you're looking at it on the flyer, man, I'll do that same thing. That's your brand. I finished stealing right there. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
creating anything of my own. Now, at
That's
the end
right.
of the day, I'm going to create a flyer that sell me out there, or local that sell me out there, but it's not up to date. If
Mm-hmm.
I even take your logo right now, for instance, I take the Royal TV logo and I decide to put it in my computer on my software. It may not show clear because why? It's of low quality.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I notice that many Liberians, both secular and gospel artists, they are lack of branding. We don't have there's no brand company at all. We don't even clothing. We don't even have our own brand. There is no. How many brand ambassadors do we have from Liberian when it comes to entertainment?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have none. We don't have one. But even the
Mm-hmm.
movie stars in Nigeria, many of the movie stars, they are brand ambassadors. People use them to even showcase their products. At the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, they create their own thing and they begin to showcase it as well. But we don't believe in that. That's one aspect. When it comes to the gospel side,
Mm-hmm.
the reason why many of our gospel music will come out good and only play on baby shower, wedding reception, and funeral because that's the only place our music stop. But people have been noticing here. We got all the Natty Girl singers in Liberia, in America, all over the world. But we only hear our music booming only in the Liberian cycle, on the baby shower, the wedding reception, the funeral, or maybe the wake. The reason is that number one, we are not prayerful.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, we lack of mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
Gospel artists, we don't have mentorship. Number three, we are not supportive of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Number four, gospel artists are in competition instead of bringing out the gifting that God has given them to glorify God. They make it as a competition.
Mm-hmm.
So, because they want to be in competition, one person gonna release a song, four, five, six, seven songs in 1 year. Now, if you don't have a mentorship and you don't have somebody, if you don't have mentorship, there'll be no business of that product because it is
Mm-hmm.
the mentorship through prayers will bring your product to enter into business.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I've been through it before, first of all, when we're talking about not being together, not just from the artist alone. If I were in a church, I can sing in the church. Once a pastor know I can sing, you will preach your message and say, what did Simon say? When man refuse to praise God, he raised a stone.
Mm-hmm.
Now the stone that he's talking about now, he the pastor and start singing too. Because he don't want to sponsor that man gift in the church. So you preach that message. But if that pastor know that he can be my mentor, that pastor know that he can be a father, that pastor know that he able to counsel me and nurture me and say, son, I make sure you can do it. And begin to walk with me step by step. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
chastise me. I am telling you, because of the involvement into my gift, God can use him to take me to the next level. We got people in Liberia that travel all over the world to interact with BP pastors, bishops, and musicians and things. How many of our people you ever saw taking one musician from Liberia to an international conference or to put it in a school or to carry them for a seminar to learn? Never. But everything is all by themselves for themselves, only for them or for their household. Even their household, they don't even care. So at the end of the day, the business aspect of the music or the industry in Liberia will not come up because no support.
Okay.
So if I come out with one song, instead of me allowing that song to go farther, to make headway, to touch the heart of people, so that people can start sponsoring. The moment the song come on, people start to be blessed by the song. The next day tomorrow you go low, I come up with another song in another video. So if we're gonna be working like that and refuse to spend money on one thing, spend quality money as well, we will not go anywhere because until you can invest money into something, you will not get money out.
Okay.
That's what I
All
believe.
all right. Okay. We're gonna come back right again. Tonight we have both gospel and secular, uh, Liberia General Entertainment. So we're gonna go to Madison, P. Gay before we go to R. Johnson. Yeah, P. Gay, why our music is not going anywhere? Our entertainment is not going anywhere.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Jones. And I want to say hi to each and every one of you um, that are watching tonight. I want to say thanks for tuning in, and I also want to recognize one of my cool Rabbi around here, well known guy in in this area, Mr. Johnson himself. I think he's one of the how do I call it bags of informations and who have insight of what we're discussing tonight because he knows about entertainment, he knows about marketing, he knows about most of the things we're discussing tonight. But
Mm-hmm.
from my point of view, what I want to inject into this discussion tonight is that first of all, uh, you got to believe in what you do and believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And once you believe in what you do and you believe in yourself, you will not be running here to scatter and chasing after the wind. Because the thing is, there's too much confusion, there's too much criticism, there's too much distraction out there when it comes to entertainment. Gospel music, if anybody tells you say gospel music, you don't have entertainment in it, it's a blatant lie.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because even the Bible said David danced. When David sang when you were singing for Saul, you know, David, when it comes to praise, he
Mm-hmm.
was one person who went out of character when it comes to praise. You understand? And
Mm-hmm.
David was a minister. He ministered, and then he entertained at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot say, I hear most of my brothers and sisters say, "Oh, we are not entertainers." Yes, we are not entertainers. We are ministers. But in your administration, you also don't bow the crowd that they walk away. You also give them something to be happy about because many people that come to your concert, that come to your program, they came with so many things on your heart, so many things on your mind. So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta put a smile on their face. You gotta put a smile on their faces. That's why we move around. That's why when we're standing and we are ministering, we move around, try to interact with the audience, with the crowd, so that they themselves will forget about what they're worrying about and join me to dance.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So that one aspect. If once you believe in what you do and you stick to it, you will not be running after the how do I call it the trending because when it come from my piano, then we jump on the side. Everybody we want to do the latest. This one is
Mm-hmm.
this star is the star right now that hitting. Then we run there, mind you. And what happened is that Liberian, we have our own culture. We are all African, but we have our culture and tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Nigerian, the South African, the Ghanaians, they also have their own culture and tradition. And that's why when you see the South African, when they are singing, they always never and ever forget about there are some sound they put in their music because they don't want to forget about that. You
The
see,
Zulu.
yeah, like a Zulu, like a battle cry and what have you in their music. It's
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want to forget about that. They want to tell the people who they are. But
Okay.
on the other hand, we Liberian, we are lost in identity and trying to find our identity. We want to be American at the same time. We want to be Liberian, and then at the same time we want to follow the Nigerian style, and at the same time we want to mix the little South African and the Ghanaian style. Then the people, even the Ghanaians and the Nigerians and the other people, they laugh at us because they see that we don't have our own thing. We don't have our own product that will follow. So if you are imitating Piggy, you think if you're imitating Piggy and you do something, you think Piggy will be very much serious to come or to chase
Mm-hmm.
after you? No. So that's the reason why the people now really running after Liberian artists is because we are all over the place trying to chase after them to try to be like them. And once you try to be like them, they feel that you only need validation and you need them and they don't need you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And another point is everybody's striking on is that we don't spend money. That's true. We don't brand ourselves. We don't spend money on ourselves. We don't represent ourselves to be looked at, as, of course, we are celebrity. You got to treat yourself. First of all, you got to put yourself in a position that you are, what you perceive yourself to be. But if you don't look at yourself in that way, I don't expect Mr. Johnson or Mr. June to take me to be, where I'm not taking myself to be. First, I got to put myself in that position first,
Mm-hmm.
and that's business, you know. So even the secular artists, the gospel artists, anything we do, we all it comprises of business. Business had to be involved because we all go to studio, we spend money to record.
Mm-hmm.
If you spend money to record, of course, you don't say, "Oh, okay, this song they become a gospel artist, so they album. I'm not gonna spend money to promote it. In fact, I'm not gonna sell it to people. I'll give it to them free because the gospel should be free. No, it doesn't work that way. So you have to invest money into it, and your clothing, first of all, the way you dress, the places you go,
Mm-hmm.
your interaction, there are a lot of stuff involved into it, and you can learn. You learn from other people how they go about doing it. But sometimes, again, like I said, our librarian we are very difficult, to deal with. People will think that you are proud when you start to bring yourself in a different way and try to set yourself aside and apart. People will say, "Oh, who it is?" They get it one CD, you not drop them one song, you not drop now. You can't just see him anymore and he doesn't even mingle with friends anymore, and he think he gone that high, But they don't understand that you try to uh bring yourself, so you try
Mm-hmm.
to keep out of the public eyes, or not everywhere you want to be, or there are certain places that you go and based on invitation. They don't
Mm-hmm.
understand that way. So there are many things involved in it. But what I want to
Okay.
say as well, before I conclude on this note for now, is that
Mm-hmm.
we are lacking of um partnership, especially people who had the idea,
Mm-hmm.
business people who invest in. We don't have investors, you know, we don't have investors. The people they have the idea, they want to do it, but they prefer to work with the Nigerian, the Ghanaians, because those guys go straight to the business. But our own Liberian who have the money, they don't want to support us. Don't they see the talent in us? Don't they know we can do it even better than even Nigerian? We can even do it better than them. But the fact is that the way we bring ourselves, we carry ourselves, so they don't want to waste their time. They want to chase after those that are already there. So
Okay.
I rest my case for now, sir.
All right. So, Johnson, um, we are with you now. The same question: why Liberian entertainment is not going anywhere?
Well, thank you, Boy V, for even having me on your show. I've been following you for a long time. You're like a very influential person in our community. You're somebody that when you call me, I take a serious notice to, and I say, I will leave whatever I'm doing and make it to you. I'm with my fiance and my assistant. I was at dinner. I had a meeting in Atlanta. I seen your text message. I was eating my food.
Mm-hmm.
I say I'm gonna leave my food because Boy Victor called. And thanks to all of the guys that's on board. Everybody on board is making valid point.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I want to clear up is that when the portion of we don't do invest, when we say we don't invest, yeah, that's a very good point. We do not invest. Very few people take the financial risk,
Mm-hmm.
and and I see why very few people take the financial risk, because you're talking to someone that's invested at least $1 million in Liberian music,
Hmm.
1 million cash, and I can show it to you. And I bet anybody to tell me I've not done it, and I can get my financials and I show it to you. I've spent $1 million in cash. The problem here is that it's not the investor. It's not their investor, because like every business, every investor expect a return on investment. Every investor, every investor wants to know that if they're investing, there's something they're going to get their initial money back, a principal back at least, and
Mm-hmm.
then a return on investment. And then you're talking about the music industry. a very risky investment. Once that it's very risky. You can put all your money up and not get nothing back. But let me tell you how even worse it gets. Right? You can
Mm-hmm.
invest all your money into an artist and do everything for that artist, and that artist blow up to be the biggest artist in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turns around and fire you. Right? So basically, he
Mm-hmm.
asked you to work for him for the last 10 years of your life, not only as a manager, because managers are not supposed to invest. Managers are supposed to make sure that the day-to-day activities of this artist's life and get this artist to where he has to get at is effective. That's a manager's job to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
the artist's day-to-day activities is done and make sure the artist get what he wants. But then this is the big portion of it. You do all when you do that, they're basically telling you leave your family's life. I'm on the phone. Leave your family's life. Leave
Mm-hmm.
whatever you're doing. Come manage me for another 5, 10 years. Let me blow up to be this big person. Leave everything you're doing. Let me blow up to be this big person. And once I become this big person, I will fire you for something simple. So you've locked in 10 years of your life and you got fired for something simple. That's the artist position. Now, let me go back to the core.
I think he got
Internet.
I don't know if it's you. Don't take don't take what
okay.
I'm saying, guys, as a direct answer for everybody, right? And
Mm-hmm.
everybody
Go
here.
ahead.
We're all
Yeah.
opinion. Everybody has their opinion, but my opinion is based off of facts. A few years ago, when I first heard when I heard the sound, and I tell you how I got involved with Liberian music. Before I did Liberian music, I had a deal with Universal Music Group with two American artists with Akon. Skitty MC, I signed with Universal Music Group for $1 million. They failed me. Me and Akon and Diallo Gibson did the situation in 2006 with Sylvia Rhones, the then VP of Universal Music Group. I was
Mm-hmm.
23 years old. I did it. I messed up on that. Okay, I walked away from it. I came back with another deal a year later with an artist named Young Noah. If you're from Atlanta, you got a record with Chris Brown. Which one of y'all? Chris Brown and Noah. Got a deal at Universal Music again. Bruce Carboni was the CEO. Noah got sick. We got signed to Universal. The record was on the radio. Which one of y'all? Chris Brown with Noah. And Chris Brown beat Rihanna and they pulled our record out. I lost that deal. That was my second chance. So I said, you know what? I've tried twice. I'm almost there. I need to try something different. At the time, I was in Atlanta. I live here. I heard the African sound being bubbling a lot in the market.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow up in Liberia. I'm not going to tell you. I grew up in America, but I always went back home. I was connected with the culture. What I wasn't connected with the native language, the songs, the sound, the what's that, the Boima sound, whatever that sound is. So Justin Bieber dropped a record that had an African drum in it. And that
Mm-hmm.
was the record that convinced me when I heard that record. It was I forgot the record. It was one of Justin's biggest record, but it had African drums in it. And I called my friend. I said, "Yo, this record is African. It's got drums in it." And that's when I believed that the Afrobeat sound was about to really take over.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Damn, what do I need to do? I need to get to where Liberians are because I know the Nigerians is already prepared for this." I heard that sound. I heard Wizkid. I heard techno. I was around Akon. I seen them debut all these guys in Atlanta, young guys. I said, you know what? I asked my friend. I said, where are the Liberians dominated in America, the ones from the war that just came that understands the music? He said Minnesota. So I went to a concert. I went to Minnesota, and I even dated a Liberian girl in Minnesota just to learn the culture. I did it, Brenda Smith. I got to
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota. I met Flex, an artist called. I never met Flex, but I heard a lot of songs. I was with Brenda in the house, and I heard a lot of songs every day in the house, all around. And the first song I heard a bunch of songs. I heard "Oh, they go fire at the demon them," and I heard a bunch of songs, and everybody knew I was there because they knew I knew people. I knew Akon, all these guys was bringing me songs, but it was something godly in this one song I heard. And I
Mm-hmm.
picked the song up. I said, I like this song. I like this song. And nobody even understood why I like that song. It wasn't that the song wasn't a good song. was that the artist Flex didn't have a great relationship with the people, and that I understand the people. Nobody was pushing him because they didn't feel like he was a real artist, but it was something godly about that song, and I liked the song,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I said, I went against, I was with this girl, and she said, "Ow, he is the worst artist in the world. Why would you? Why he's not even an artist. I heard everything from everybody, not just Brenda." I said, "I like this song. It's just something in this song I like. I want to get this song out of Minnesota. I want to get this song to Atlanta." And I got Flex out of Atlanta. I finally met Flex, and it was challenging. When I tell you, I was so it was so challenging for me. And I met Flex, and I brought Flex down to Atlanta, and I said, "Flex, I'm going to get you in a new environment. I think this is a big song for you, right? I want to get you around some people that's going to take this song to another level." I made all the necessary calls. I got Akon, Diallo, everybody on the phone within 1 day a year. 1 day you're talking to Flex when I first met him. And they said, "Al, bro, if you believe in it, whatever you need to do for Liberia, bro, we're with you, bro. Bring it down to Atlanta. We're working it." And I brought the artist down. So I'm going to turn this whole story back around. I'm going to get past that then. The question that was asked is why Liberian artists aren't going anywhere, right? It's the
Mm-hmm.
loyalty thing. It's the loyalty thing. You know, back when we got something called Mughal, we take everybody trying to take advantage of the next person, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't. That's why the artists that we have from back home, right? Not only do they do not understand business, their music are very good. From the Flex to D12 to Eric Giesel, all these guys have very competitive music, better than any music you can hear, you can think of, right? Their music
Mm-hmm.
is so good. I have played their music in record labels from Warner Brothers to Motown to Universal. I have played their songs with radio stations, program directors. They can go. These guys have great music, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's their heart. They come in the game trying to fuck over the investors. They don't come in the game trying to make sure that they win with the investors, that the investors get a return on investment. They don't come in the game with that. They come in the game with, I'm about to get what I can out of this person and move on with my career. But what you don't understand about the music industry is that it's a close net world. When you burn one person, press in it. And especially when you come from a country like Liberia where nobody's going to invest in, and you got one or two people that put their family money, their time, resources, sweat equity. Because y'all think money is just investment. No, the sweat equity is more than the money. The person that's taking their time off, the development artist for a whole year, 2, 3. I developed D12 for 8 years. 8 years. I put D12. I did everything for D12 that I could have done for. I mean, I was moving D12 like a major artist, like a record label, like Universal moved their artists. He was flying private to go to shows. He was
Mm-hmm.
top notch shows. He had the best production. You can't say the videos aren't up to point. Go back and watch the music videos me and James Smith produced for D12. Changed the song. Look at the videos we did and the one that he did. The problem here is that they're not they're not real. They're not real with themselves. First, it's not the investors. They're not real with themselves. Investors are where they are now to be investors because they made sound business decisions in their life. A person that does not become an investor for not making sound business decision. That means that you have made sound business decision, you've made money from those business decisions, and then you're willing to invest in the other opportunities, right? That's an
Mm-hmm.
investor's thinking, right? So when you're dealing with a group of people that doesn't take their craft serious, they only care about the Liberian people on social media. They fight you because you're trying to expose them to the world and just not the Liberian dynamics on social media. How can you even work for that person when they're only trying to impress the girls in the Liberian girls in Philadelphia and Minnesota and not the world? When I'm telling you, listen, bro, this is the direction we should go. I'm coming back to you. I'm financially stable. I'm 47 years old. I've been around money and entertainment, real people since I was 19 years old in this country. I'm already there. If I'm taking off from my time to come back and build you, don't think that I need you. I brought D12 to Warner Brothers. I sent you guys the contract. I have a Warner Brothers music contract video contract in my phone when I did the Change My Story project and made the record big, I spent over 150,000. I paid Flavor on live radio. I played Favor 30,000. I paid Patrick Ellis 50,000 to go back to Nigeria. I spent another 100,000 to check Boniface Agonti, D12, the entire production back to Nigeria. When I got to Nigeria, when I got to Liberia, I paid for everybody hotels for 3 weeks. I did all of that. Me and my fiance on our budget. Now I'm taking from my family now, money I can put up for my kids. I did that because I already had a commitment from Warner Brothers in America that they like the record, they like what I'm doing, they like my project, that if I go and show the vision of the story behind Change My Story and capture it, that was going to do a deal. I incorporated V103, the biggest African radio, Ozzy the Dark Secret. If you're from Atlanta, you know Ozzy the Dark Secret. He's responsible for breaking Davido, Wizkid, any African song of he's still
Oh
on
yeah, yeah.
V103. I
I know
took
him.
Ozzy the Dark Secret back to Liberia to show Warner Brothers that yes, the record is so big, the movement is so big. We're taking the biggest radio guy back to Liberia to create a story with DJ Blue, my cousin. I created a story. I brought the story back. D12 Changed My Story record was already in the queue on V103, ready to get dropped. I came back. Now, be mindful, before all of this, I told these guys that I am doing this. 12, I know you did the record. I know you're the producer behind the record. I know you wrote the record. But you don't have a fan base like the guy Boniface that you brought them in and introduced to me. I'm the executive. I'm the thinker. I'm the one putting my money behind it. I'm going to use my strategy. This guy Bonnie has numbers behind him. I'm going to promote the record on this platform. But the reality is that once we blow up and we get the deal, D12, you get validated as a major producer and writer on the record. We agreed on all of this. But for them, it was Mugu shit. There was Mugu in me the whole time. They didn't know I was spending crazy money. Went home and did all that promotion, only to find out that 12 and everybody else was against what I was doing. He said that I made Bonnie a bigger artist than him, and that I was trying to move Bonnie over him. And Bonnie, on the other hand, thought that I was too loyal to 12 and I was using him. So it became complicated. When I say these kids, I came back. I brought the label. I brought the lawyer from Warner Brothers to Atlanta, D12, right at this very same hotel I'm at today, the Hampton Hotel in Buckhead. I had D12 come in. I had the lawyers and I had everybody come in. The contract's a year, so I would post the contract in the morning. D12 came and told me in front of the lawyer, Jaco, manager, Julius Garcia, Jose the Dark Secret from V103, which is still there. And these guys will tell you, D12 came and told me that when we had that meeting that day, was supposed to sign off so the record and go in the queue. And Warner Brothers was doing the distribution, and D12 would have been on another level right now because the record was big. I promoted it. He said, excuse my language, what have you done for me? Fuck it. What have you done for me, my brother? You've done nothing for me. This is a guy I've been working with for 8 years. Me and James Smith. And D12 talked to me so little that day. When I walked out of that meeting, I was so broken because this was the change of all of our lives. We've waited for this for so long. And for someone that have spent so much money, maxed out every credit card, well, Victor, I'm not lying to you. When I left out that meeting, I probably had $10,000 on a credit card, me and my girl. She's right here. We probably had 10 grand left. We walked out of that meeting. I was so broken. Jacob, manager, followed me because they knew they've been following me to see my process. He said, Al, don't worry about it. You're going to find an artist that really, really, really is going to take you there. I said, I'm out of this music shit, bro. That shit. And that was the day that I said, I will never invest a dollar into anything Liberian. It was because of that. I feel with Flex. I took the Akon. We got the deal done. And all he had to do was just do his job. I don't know where we went wrong. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. It was the loyalty again. Me and Flex fell out. Me and Flex relationship has never been the same. And I was the person that fought for Flex in Minneapolis. And I did it with D12. I've done it twice. The fact of the matter is that these kids are not loyal to themselves. They don't understand. Forget the business, because they can learn the business down the road. But when they're looking at investors like the way we grew up, man, Iramema in Liberia, man, Iramema, they have to change that concept of man. You know what I mean? You have to really, really, really change that concept in America. First, I've been here. I'm 47 years. I've been here over 30-some years. Trust me. The only way you make it here, the only way the American guys make it, how they make it in the project, one guy, they all sell drugs. One rapper, one of their friends is a rapper. He's hot. All of them got money. They're loyal to that one friend. There's no fake stuff to blow that one person up, and then that one person get rich and make all of them rich. That's how it works. It doesn't work no other way. It's the
Okay.
culture.
All right. So, Al Johnson, I know you have family with you, but the next question, I want everybody to take 2 minutes instead of 5 minutes. So what can we do, because the entertainment is not going anywhere? So what can we do to make it better, Miss Sonic?
Yeah, so I mean, I was enjoying the story Al Johnson put down. I mean, basically, to be an investor and a manager is very, it's very hard. But you know,
Hmm.
those are just listening to him. I learn a lot. Um, I've had my fair share of issues in the music industry, but what I would say is
Hmm.
your question, and for the sake of time, um, what we could do is first establish a system. If
Hmm.
you look at America, America is like a system type of nation. Everything is systematic here. Everything. When it comes to grocery stores, you have chains of grocery stores. When it comes to restaurants, it's the same thing. Everything is in order.
Hmm.
So, in order for Liberian industry or entertainment industry to move forward, we have to put a system. What do I mean by that? A system of, for instance, it could be a management system. It could be like a touring system. We saw what his name, Ponto. Ponto was successful when he came here last year. I don't know how his tour is going now, but
Hmm.
last year when he came, it was like a system thing. He got his songs hot in Liberia. People over here were playing the song. He managed to get a booking agent from Minnesota, Larry. Brought him here last year,
Hmm.
sponsored his trip, and made sure to get him on tour. Brought him here, but basically everybody who wanted to bring Ponto to their cities, they had to pay Larry B, and it was in order like that. This year he's also here. I don't think he's dealing with Larry B this year, but a system like that works. Why does it work? Because an artist could come from Liberia, or even an artist here. If you have a hot song, it's gonna be a systematic thing because DJs have to get behind the song. The people have to get behind the song. Once that song is popularized or songs are popularized, it's easier for the artist to tour anywhere in the world, whether it's USA, whether it's Australia, whether it's Europe, and that's how it has to be. So we have to put in place a system. Whether it means we have to do it here in the US and have it
Hmm.
organized to where, okay, we could help this artist get on the radio. They got a hot song. We know they got a hot song. We popularize them back home. Then we could help this one artist tour around the world. Every single show, that artist is going to make way more money than they even make back home. Over here is a little different because some of us, we're educated. We went to school, so we might be working in our field of study. So, it's a little different here. But at least for the artists back home, when they come and tour, they could walk away with close to $1,000 or around $1,000 per show. That money, if they do 10 shows, that's $10,000. Whichever way you want to break it down, they will have something to go back home that's tangible and say, look, I made $10,000. I could open a store and sell goods or do something with my life. I could build, I made 10,000 or 20,000. I could at least start my house or try to build my house or whatever the case. But when it comes to music, it has to be about business and it has to be about system. It has to be systematic. Everybody can't be running all over the place. It has to be systematic. So whether it means we got to establish the system here, that's what we may have to do. Or maybe they could establish it back home, whichever way. But I'm just saying it has to be systematic. But tourism works, you know. Like if we popularize Liberian music, like I was telling you earlier, it's going to encourage people who are not Liberians just to go visit the country. Do you know how many people visit Nigeria just because of Afrobeat music? You understand what I'm saying? Just because of Afrobeat, they just have a love for it, so they visit places like Nigeria and Ghana. So we have to start thinking in terms of systematic systems, putting systems in place that will move the Liberian entertainment forward.
Okay. Thank you so much, Duo. What can we do to improve our entertainment in general?
Well, Peter, this is something I think I have to go and think about it. The next show, I can bring an answer. Reason is that, uh, like what R. Johnson just said,
Mm-hmm.
it broke me down.
Hmm.
But that's not the first one I even hear or I witnessed. No. Uh, my son just said something about Manto. When he came in for the first time, his tour was successful.
Mm-hmm.
He here for the second time. But the question is he working with the same person that brought him the first time?
I don't think so.
No, he's not. He's working with.
So what can we say right now? Because if you think it's getting better right here, the issue, like I said, the issue is not it's with the artists themselves.
Yes, and you know, I'm sorry to cut you. You're right on point, my brother. You're right on point. You're right on point.
The issue is with the artists.
Mm-hmm.
It's not with a
Yes.
supporter from outside, but the artists themselves. Even the same thing happened in gospel. It happened all over. All over. Today, you will sponsor a gospel musician. The moment they come out with the first, second album, the first question they will ask is, what have you done for me? I wrote my own song. I did this.
Thank you.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
everywhere.
So I think this is something that
Mhm.
to create a system is not, listen, right now, you Victor Jobu say, you know what? Deep praiser. I know you're a good praiser. So what we do, let's set a system in place. I'll agree with you for the first time because I want to make little money to sell my own. And at the moment you take me to North Carolina, the first praise festival, I see the money. You take me to Waterside, you take me to Mount Barkley, we'll come back. The next thing I'll call you say, people are you know what? I think I can make it now on my own.
Mm-hmm. No patience.
Or when you call me now, I can't answer the phone again. Because why? Somebody behind me now tell me, say, Mama, you can make it.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue with Liberian is that nobody want to be a passenger or a conductor. Everybody want to be a driver. And it don't work that way.
Right on the head.
The child cannot just born today and start running. It's a process. All the time that I live in Ghana, I work with a lot of musicians. When Joe Manto was coming up, Joe Manto used to sing with Soul Winner rather. When Joe Manto was singing with Soul Winner, I used to attend that church. I used to go to that practice ground. This guy came up until it was time people released them to go on their own. You see how they prospering?
Mm-hmm.
You see how the Nigerian artists are come up? They don't just come up because they want to come up. They got people behind it that will push them. Then they say, okay, now that you are successful, let's bring in one of your brothers to push him too. Moses Chenwo, what the other about 6 of them. They own one record label. One. That one, when you watch Moses Chenwo music video, you will see most of the Nigerian artists in it. Gospel artists.
They support each other.
They support each other. They believe in the person that brought them up. Before I go, they got to call Sonny P, who recorded a song called Ekuweme. He recorded for Joe Priest. He recorded for all the other artists. They made you to be in one small place. You see an all-the-time keyboard and a computer. The man pushed people. Right now, as we speak, the man took 6 months. The artists in Nigeria came together and said, we try seeing here. They took 6 months. They built a multi-millionaire studio for that man from scratch. Sonny P right now, when you feel talking about me, just go on Facebook, put that Sonny P, SUNNYPEE, and look at the studio he just built. Right now, Frank Edward and every day they're in the main studio. All the big artists are in Nigeria that in the main studio they are. And he's still bringing people. And you know what he not do? He not bring people believe in him. But our Liberians, I don't know. I think this is something. It's not just something we can answer right now. It's about prayers. So, man of God, I'm saying it's about prayers. So, this is something that's killing us. I'm telling you, it is about prayers. Even churches. Pastor will bring minister up by the time they preach 1 or 2 messages, and the whole church will go and say, hallelujah. The next day say, Pastor, I go on my own.
Thank you.
So the issue is with ourselves. I'm telling you. That's what happened. It's with ourselves. I can make it now. I can open my own church. Then I remember say, oh yeah, but when you open a church, I'll be the choir leader. So yeah, but then I got usher already. We can go open it. The secular artists, the gospel artists, we just, I don't know. That process,
okay.
So let me go pray about it. Maybe I'll get you answer. But now I can't tell you nothing about it.
Okay, PG, I want to before we go to I want to come to you then. After that, I will just summarize it because we're not taking too long. It's a 1 hour show. Until it get better, we'll go 2 hours. So PG, go ahead.
Yeah, you see, Vito Jr., you see, they say the fall of a great man always, always derived from his pride, and every one of you had a very valid point tonight, and especially artists speaking and people that already have already been in a management position, they are speaking from, like, I is speaking from experience. He's speaking from experience because he's been through it. And there are other few people that are not online tonight and they're listening and watching. And I think they concur with what he experienced and what is being discussed tonight. Indeed, we gotta admit, yes, it's our own pride, it's our our big hearts and ungratefulness and stuff, that and you see what I always do, what I always say is that God sees the heart, God sees your heart. The reason why Saklozo, gospel musician from Liberia, we don't really reach to that place yet is because God sees our heart. It's because he sees our heart. He knows the intention. He knows your intention when he gave you what you asked for, when he knows what you want to use it for. You might use it to put other people down. You might use it to be bragging and make other people feel so bad about themselves. You might use it for so many reasons that may not bring glory to him. So God reserved it, he keeps it because he knows it's not the rightful time for him to give it to us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against collaboration. I know I'm just jumping from here there. I'm not against collaboration, but with all the experiences that our brothers have had, spending thousands of dollars, going up to millions, and even try to collaborate you with someone who is up there, I just want to see your face for you gain that recognition and validation, and then out of sudden you show some sort of or insincerity and ungratefulness. You know fully well that you cannot get to the top like that. I don't care how much big people you hang out with, you collaborate with. That person anointing is not your anointing. That person spirit they carry is not yours. You got to humble yourself first. Know where you are, who you are, and what you want to do and what you want to be. And the little beginning, if you can humble yourself and respect that, and be submissive, and and express sense of gratitude, you will go to the bigger place. But then again, the thing is, to Mr. Johnson and others that are watching, I want to say to you, speaking from, I'm speaking as an artist, and I want to say to you guys from Liberia, we all in Africa, we all have something they call bragging right. The Nigerians, when they sit down among the Ghanaian, they say they are the best. Ghanaian will sit down among the Liberia and say they are the best. Liberia will sit down with Nigeria and will argue, say we got the best. You know the reason why they do that is
Mm-hmm.
because they see that their people support them. Those guys have their own attitude as well. They had that same that ungrateful spirit and everything they had it. But it takes another iron to break through that. You cannot say I'm tired or
Big guy, now you got to start over.
no, okay, I will start work tomorrow. You cannot say I'm done. I'm tired because of the experience that I had with so and so person. I'm done. I don't want. Of course, I understand it's painful. I understand
Mm-hmm.
you put money into something that you say
Mm-hmm.
you're not getting back, and there's no appreciation. All you see is that someone saying negative stuff about what you done. They forget about the time you spent out of your home. They forget about the time you spent on the phone making connection with them, flying here and there, and all that stuff. They forget about it. But hey, someone out there, another artist out there who really had that humble spirit, who God actually want to put in that position,
Mm-hmm.
is out there, and you
Yeah.
should never give up. You should never give up because the father is that will give up on like bro.
It's easy to say that, boss. It's easy to say you never give up. Like I spoke to you before. I'm not the type of manager that came in just to manage. I came in knowing that I was managing people that was broke as hell, had no money. So I had to rechange the whole image and create the image. I created the both artists I work with. Go back and look at their content before I met them and look at their content now. D12 just put out a record with Techno, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was me and James Smith that nurtured a relationship with Techno for the many years. D12 never knew Techno. He never got around those people. It was me and James Smith that nurtured that relationship to bring him around Techno, get him around Paulo, all those Nigerian guys. We look at the content. You guys know I'm a social media guy. I post everything. D12 and those guys used to fight me for posting pictures and videos. You know why? Now I understand why. Because they never wanted the world to know that I was the one responsible for the introduction. I see it now. I used to fight my artists like, why you posting all the time on us? Why? You know why? Because you had something to hide. I was promoting you. It was my way of promoting you to the people that was non-Liberians. You get it? I know more Nigerians in entertainment than I know Liberians in entertainment. I did that. Everything that they're doing now are seeds of what I planted, me and James. I would not take credit for nothing when it comes to D12 and Flex without James A. Smith. James A. Smith works for Def Jam. He's an American guy that was working for Chris Brown and Rihanna that I convinced to move to Minneapolis and help me build Flex. And it took us 5 weeks to get Flex from Minneapolis to Akon. The Akon to recognize who Flex was. Akon jumped on the record so fast. Not only did we get Flex to Akon, we also brought the investor to pay Akon $100,000 to get on the record with Flex.
Mr. Johnson, I have a question for you, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, my question to you as a brother and friend who actually grew up, spent the longest time in the US here, and you have a lot of experiences and stuff. Do you, since you tried the other way, managing artists, and you haven't seen any sense of positive feedback or any profit or anything that you want to get out of them, you don't see it back. Is there an is that another ride that you try to come up with? Like,
Yeah,
for
there,
instance,
there
like
is.
I'm coming. Like, for instance, like you talk about Warner Brothers. Those are big record labels. Those are big organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that came to your mind? One of these to say, okay, you know what? Let me take a different route. Let me try to see where I can try to establish a record label or through Warner Brothers. What have you
No,
seen?
no, no, no. It's simple. It's not the way people look at it. It's not like how we look at it. It's not. It's not nothing big about that. It's about
Mm-hmm.
it's about building a brand. The labels wants to make money just like you. It just wants to see that the indie company, which is me, has already took the financial risk with their artists, and then they're join to make it bigger. It's not hard to blow an artist up. I did that with D12. D12 had a situation. D12 would have been the first Liberian artist. Flex would have been the first with Akon. It's not hard. Like, you cannot get them to where you want to get them at without some type of distribution behind them. Make sense to you? We don't have the population to buy. We don't have the population. You got to brand them through a source like a distributor. But no, we don't have the ability to buy projects, to buy records, the streams. We don't have none of that. So for a Liberian artist, Nigeria do. Nigeria may be a a very big country, but believe it or not, at least 20% of the population in Nigeria has internet access and they can stream records, and that's a good that's a good incentive for their artists. But they also have a large population in the Western world that can also stream their artists' records. We don't. We only hear our artists' record when we go to the clubs. The only hope I see for a Liberian artist right now, and I'll be very honest with you, as an investor, I would never invest into a Liberian artist on my mother's life.
You bet that don't have it.
I will never invest a dollar.
I love you. I'm coming to you.
And this is my mother's life because I have done it.
Let me not cut.
Not done.
Yeah.
The only thing that I see that could happen is if we made our artists a national artist, like did the same route like the American Idol, a Liberian Idol, the way that artist was actually locked in nationally. You had some type of real management with him, and then all that's
You can't mute.
and then blow that artist up and make that artist popular. But if you're talking about any one of these guys doing music on social media, no disrespect to them. I respect a lot of these guys like Tusi and all these guys that are loyal. Tusi's a very loyal guy. I think his day is gonna happen for him. They're what's that kid that worked with Just Prince? He's been with Just Prince forever, and he sings. Yes, those are. But these guys that are chasing the Liberian girls on social media just to take picture, like cars and all that crazy stuff. Listen, you will lose your money. You will lose your family. I'm telling you now, that's not the route to go. Don't do it. I would never.
Okay.
Nobody.
Hold on 1 minute. We got Mr. I Love You on here. Mr. I Love You, what is your take? You came a little bit.
Yes. Thank you so much, Royal Family TV, for having me on this platform. I'm going to be humble enough to say this is a great opportunity to be on the same platform with Al Johnson. Big respect to you. I appreciate your hard work and your effort, towards the industry. The first thing I want to acknowledge is if you watch some of these foreign artists, for example, Star Cordier from Ghana, the rapper, he has a manager that he had his entire music career. His manager has never changed. It's some fat choppy guy. I don't know if you probably know him. Star Cordier manager, some fat choppy guy. He has maintained this guy his entire life. Timaya is the same thing. The records are there. So I don't want other people to come and backfire and say other things about this and that, but it has been so hard to really find a Liberian artist who have that record in the system. So if investors are having problem, it becomes factual. Because if you can find one or two artists who have maintained a manager or someone for the longest or their entire career, then you have a point, but you're really not finding that. But on the other side, there are other artists who happen to be working with that. Now, for me personally, I do stand-up comedy. I'm a comedian. I'm more into stand-up than the acting, aspect of it. But for the years I've been in the industry, I've noticed a lot of things been happening. And unfortunately, people who have the privilege or the power to change this industry, a lot of them are not really helping the entire system. Looking at how we can improve the system, going back home from the ministry that is in charge, the ministry that is in charge of the entertainment industry and other things, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and, all of that, the roles that they're all supposed to play. You understand? The level at which we're prioritizing things. We're talking about the industry here. One of the main things we got to focus on is not just about the U.S., not just the U.S. industry, it's the industry at large. Now, to an extent, the industry in Liberia seems to have a low pattern going on. But the one in the US, no. Because in Liberia, there are certain guys or systems set up, it's not that strong, but if they make up their mind that they're going to push you, well, in no time, they're done pushing you. And the people in the diaspora will open their arms to you. But that's not the point because you don't go beyond. A typical example is Mama Liberia right now, comedy-wise. Mama Liberia, the one that be bending down, doing that. They all put their hands behind that person, that guy within no time. There you go. So I'm just saying that the industry would need to really fix a lot of things from the award shows that are being organized, the way in which is being organized. We need to coordinate with the system back home so we all can work together, making sure that when artists leave from here, they have that reception, the connection between artists in the diaspora and back home. Let there be more stronger connection in order to get the industry going. A lot of these things need to really work together because it can't just be one sided. You
Okay.
understand? Yes.
Okay. So,
Let,
yeah, go ahead. We give everybody 2 minutes. Go ahead.
yeah, my only 2 minutes I use one of the other one. Come and use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the question that Brother PK asked as I Johnson, right? That was a very unique question, and I love the answer that I Johnson gave. If I were I Johnson, I won't even be able to come on the show to even talk because I'll be so embarrassed. And this is what our own Liberians continue to do to us. A man who set a lawyer down. I know Detour. I know him from the time they started singing. I know him from all over before he even got to America.
And I know this conversation going to escalate in the morning, but when it escalates, I would screenshot, and I'm begging for this to even escalate, so I can screenshot the communication with Al Johnson, Warner Brothers lawyer, J. Cole manager, Jose the Dark Secret V103 for 4 months, so you guys can see the entire communication.
But watch this. How far the music gone now with how they call Flex? And Flex is down. We hear about him anymore. Where his songs?
They took my
Everything
vision.
down.
They took my vision away. I found the vision when I
Now
brought them.
the reason why it's down is because the person who supported the vision or gave them the vision, they sideline the person. And there is no way I Johnson will bring something on. He got the idea, he invests into it, and then I sideline him or they respect him in that aspect. Do you think I will go anywhere? Hell no. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not.
Okay.
You can make all the songs. I believe the song that really pushed Detour, it was when this I Johnson rather came in. I'm just trying to figure out something right now. So that man is no longer there. How far you think the song will go? How far you think the music will go? We still gonna be in the same area. I give you one example. When I came here, my dream was, oh my people, our gospel artists, at times seeing our artists going on stage and singing from CDs. We need a system. We need to put up a sound system. I started calling people. So one of the pastor here visiting, I called the pastor and said, man of God, I'm in America now, but my whole vision right now is to build an entire orchestra for our people, that when they're singing, they will not struggle. Let us put hands together. The man of God said, oh my son, I back you. We're going to do it. After a few minutes coming by, you know what he asked me? Who will keep the issue, man? Where the money will go? I'm telling you. So I struggle hard. Every money I ever made the first 2 years I came, every money I ever handled, I used to go from state to state. When the people call me to minister, I want to tell them, say, listen, I only want support to the ministry in Liberia. Better the kind of equipment I took back home. If I show you picture, you will say it's not true. That the Mesa just came, Behringer X32 Mesa.
Yeah.
That just came in star. I got it all in Liberia. They kind of set I talk about 6-string bass guitar, now 1, 3. If I take the kind of equipment get in Liberia, I call all the players together. I call before I could even go Liberia. When I send the equipment, I call top musicians, say they can't come into Liberia. The thing I send it, they're not for me. I want you to make use of it. You have to take care of it. When I got to Liberia, I called them. They said they're not coming anywhere. I left the equipment, I came out. Right now, you know what they'll do? They don't go to the men are keeping the equipment. They get less money, they buy, somebody buy one drum set, then they carry on their own. Somebody tell the other people, they carry on their own. So how are we going to grow? You think now if I send equipment like bro, I want to send what I sent before, or even if I send my second to go, then when I feel I lock it up. So how would it be improved?
I know. Okay. Johnson, we about to close now. So you do the close. You will start from you. Uh, PK, uh, brother. Do then Ms. going to close it. What is your input about what can we do now to take Liberian music to the top?
Ball V, I'm be honest with you guys. Thanks to everybody for having me on board. We're a lot closer than you think we are. We are a
Hmm.
lot closer. Like there are records that out there that I know for sure that the label wants. I wrote something on Facebook 2 days ago and said 2023, my first goal is to get my distribution with Interscope Records for a
Hmm.
Liberian artist. That's because we love Liberia. The only way to get Liberian music to the top, Ball V, the music is good. Don't get me wrong. We don't need to go back to the studio to produce anything. We got big records. These kids are doing phenomenal records. They got
Hmm.
to change their thinking. They got to stop thinking that they can get over on the people that's trying to change their and their families' lives. It's not them, it's God. God only recognizes the heart, He doesn't recognize what the heart is faking to be. So
Hmm.
if you're using me, right, and thinking that you're trying to get somewhere because you're using me, then God doesn't recognize that heart that's using me. He recognizes the heart that's loyal to me. So this has nothing to do with investors. I totally disagree. This has nothing to do with the sound of the music. I totally disagree. This has nothing to do with the size of Liberia. The Liberian artists are not progressing because they do not have loyal bones in them for the people that's helping them. Once they change that mindset and start to think like the rappers here, think like the American rappers that believe in the people that's helping them and they go with those people all the way till the end, then it's going to change. Then God's going to deliver both parties to win. But if one is trying to deceive the next one with that heart and trying to come with the godly gift, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So it
Okay.
goes back to the artist. Guys, change your heart and believe and trust the people that's trying to deliver you to the world and let them do that. That's it.
And one of the things that I noticed about Liberian artists, because I had to get my input before we all close here. Number one, uh, we don't believe in ourselves. That's number one key. Number two, we don't know what they call branding, how to brand yourself. That's number two. Number three, managers are drowning with their artists because manager doesn't even know his role. Managers have become sponsor, and manager should be getting paid. When manager is being getting paid, he will do his work the way it should be. But we take manager to be our sponsors. So when all the roles are defined and in different ways, one time I posted on Facebook, I said, a lot of manager should be getting paid. All Liberian artists in Liberia said, where do we take it from? Five folk come and pay people? That's how they started, and they were all on my post. Why? Because they don't know the definition of being a manager, and managers saying Liberia are drowning. They put us into a sponsor position. Because if you're a manager, you be getting paid, you be doing your job, finding contract, finding places for your artists to go, and you have to have a sponsor list, people that you're gonna hire. I mean, list them how to email blast and all kinds of. There are a lot of things that we need to work on that we are not doing. So taking money because as soon as they say a manager now, everybody look up to you now. Oh my video. I need my yes. You gotta tell your manager you need video, you need this. But what if the manager is being paid? He got to do his work. Find the means, find the avenues, find an email or blast, find sponsor those that love your music, that follow you. Get a whole email list that these are your sponsors. But my manager role is to carry to places to work. But now I'm gonna drown myself because you want to do video. No, you can't do that. But if you have the sponsor listening and you if anything that comes on and you talk to your sponsors, people that maybe 25 persons, you say, Duo is about to come up for CD launching. What can we do? Manager go to the sponsors. and talk to them. But we look at the manager to be all in all. So if we do, and a lot of managers have been drowning. And when I talk to Liberian artists, Liberia, oh, that manager not doing nothing for me. So why man wasting my time? I kick him out because why manager doesn't even know his role, and others don't even know what they call. I mean, paying your manager, they got no idea. Just a little percentage, like 10% or 5% or whatever, and the manager get it. He get it. Look at my son is assigned. It's a record label. Now his sister Tracy is the manager, and Tracy got 10%. She don't care whether they are born from the same mom. She got her money, and she pressing all the button because she getting paid, and she's not drowning. So there are a whole lot we will talk about, and we it's like time spent. It's past spent now. So PG, you got 2 minutes. Uh uh Dua got 2 minutes. Then Ms. will close it. So PG with you. We'll come
Well,
next week.
well, what I would love to conclude on is that we are encouraging more of our brothers and sisters like Al Johnson, who
Mhm.
has the ideas, who has the financial power to be able to join our brother, because this is very hard for an individual to take over, to take charge of. The Liberian music entertainment industry needs a strong support, and
Mhm.
they need to organize themselves. Those that have the will and power to help the institution and help the industry move forward, they need to govern themselves and try to see how best they can work together in order for us to move forward. Although artists, you will always have, like I said, you will always have ungrateful people. You will always have people that
Mhm.
don't express gratitude. I mean, it's obvious you're going to have them, but you will still have people that will be grateful and that will be loyal, and they are
Mhm.
still out there. You should not conclude to say that, well, I don't want to work with Liberian artists anymore because they feel that I work with, I have a very bad experience with them. Of course, you have the right to withdraw yourself, but then you might be missing out too, or you might be hurting another brother or sister too who is standing by there, who needs that help, and God is sending him your way to help him out. And to our listener, if you are out there hearing us, we also encouraging you as well to please support, continue to support Liberian music. You see, one thing that we stretch on tonight, that someone stretched on, the reason why like the Nigerian Ghanaians, those guys, they keep progressing on the social media, on how do I call it, on Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff, is because by the time their music come out, they got people vying to their music before even the music is released. You know, they got people dancing to their music, people playing their music. I tell you what, Liberian people play. I would say 65 to 85%. Liberian people promote these things. If the way they can vibe to the garden songs, their music. Liberian music is not ugly. We got good music coming from Liberia. If we can
Mhm.
take an artist music, like what's the name again? Or like Richmond, like Pastor Duo, the music come out, vibe to it, play it.
Even the different new music just drop.
Even
I don't see
different music.
anybody. I don't see anybody doing anything with it, but everybody following.
Exactly. Huh?
Kids Daniel new sort
Yes,
of
Daniel
everybody
Yeah,
doing
music.
it.
but why would somebody want to follow detour music? Listen, everything that we do, we gotta put God first.
Mhm.
If you think you're hurting another man, God is watching. People will hurt you.
True. True.
PK cannot be my number one cheer. Do you know
Mhm.
how many people follow PK? Do you know how many people know PK?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So PK start promoting me. Check for me to come out with a five. I haven't recorded a person watching song on CDO. I just sing it one time. PK heard it. Everywhere PK go and say, "Your Pastor Tori, come here." I go and sing it. People start knowing the song.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow, and I with PK. The day I go to Minnesota, PK and I go. I go to Philadelphia, PK and I go. All the people that attached to PK that
Yeah.
used to support me because of PK, they always drop.
Vida Jones. I mean, we will have another day for to discuss this because it's very much, and if you are listening, do not think this is not in the corner. We're not gossiping with anybody here. This is the fight. Mr. Johnson came out and expressed his dissatisfaction and it hurts and stuff. He expressed it, and we are not talking about any of our brothers and sisters to say, "Oh, what they did." We're not trying to justify anything here. But the fact is, what goes around, they say it comes around. What goes around comes around, and it affecting one way or the other. It will affect any artist. Whatsoever thing that PG does, to Mr. Johnson, and Mr. Johnson refused to work with PG, it will affect Mr. Duo for him to work with Mr. Duo or any other artist because what he feels that PG behavior and one rotten apple spoil everything. So it's something that we have to pay keen attention to and try to be loyal to people who are trying to help us and who are helping us. You are not who you are just because of who you are. Someone make you to get to where you are. So you always have to pay that respect and homage to that person. Even if you want to move on to another person and find that person, do not do it with confusion. Do not do it with hurt. You don't do it because it will affect you one way or other. It will affect you as you go along. It will affect you. So that's what I'm saying. Like, brother came out with music, and a lot of guys been coming with a lot of music and stuff. Our people are not buying to the music then though.
No, they are not.
Kid that just dropped another one recently. Everybody turned to. So what is our problem?
It's problem right there. Jealousy, envy. Look what happened.
Go ahead.
Look what happened to Gonzone. Yeah, look what happened to Gonzone. I was in Minnesota, right? And then 2 Sundays ago in Minnesota, I took a picture with Oxford Dixon, Will Davis, Minister Ophia Dawolo, and that of Gladys Chie.
Yeah.
So Oxford decided to post the picture. They gone Saturday. Oxford posted the picture. One Liberian Miss Oxford used to work and say, "Oh, I was glad to take picture with Minister Ophia Dawolo, Will Davis, Pastor Allen, the praise machine." One lady went under the post and wrote there, Pastor Allen and Charles Lee, who the praise machine, and then she laughing under the post.
What?
Look at that comparison.
Yeah, that's what she did.
So then how wouldn't it be competition now? How would
exactly
in
the gospel?
In the gospel, if a person who should be spiritually inclined will make such a statement, then of course Charles Lee here will get big and say, "Oh, I'm the king of praise now."
Yeah.
Okay, I got to take it from him. I got to bring back my title. Then become competition instead of.
I have to tell on the poster. What I do for God is not competition.
Exactly.
And togetherness in Christ is more better than good name outside there. I'm not in competition with anybody.
That's right.
And this is what Kenny. Let me tell you.
That's ignorant.
What's our concert right now? You will see thousands of musicians with Canada because everybody want to sing without nothing to give for. You will never get a spirit in our church.
No.
But that old lady just come and take that microphone and say, "Jesus, my own friend," and singing our native language. That whole place, you will see the cloud of God coming down. This is what we are missing.
True.
Okay.
Y'all gotta drop it.
All right, Masonic, we back to you. Your final word.
Oh man, you said 2 minutes, but I think I will do 5 minutes.
You like it? Go 10.
We gotta close here. We have 5 more minutes to close. So make use of 3.5.
Okay. So basically, push Liberian entertainment forward. Number one thing, we have to be honest with ourselves, honest with God first, honest with ourselves, and honest with the people we're working with. This is not a artist bashing thing. We're not gonna just bash artists because DJs do it too. I'll give you guys an example. I've been spending money, direct money, with Liberian DJs and other African DJs too, but mainly Liberian DJs for like 3 years straight. You can go on my Instagram and you will see those videos. Some of the men they would pretend like they're playing your song on the radio and send you video.
Yeah,
when you call your man back home, be like, "My man, are they playing my music? My man, I ain't yet that team. I ain't that team." For me, I look at it as still business because I use those videos on my YouTube and I monetize them. So either ways, I'm still gonna get money from the videos. But when it comes down to it, that's not being honest, because I gave you my money to play my music on the radio. So if you don't play the music, that's number one problem there. You're not doing what you say you're supposed to do. And that's not being honest. So that honesty thing is all across the board.
Yeah.
It was a time I'm an artist, producer, and songwriter. And back in 2019, I managed 3 artists. They were in a group, and I managed a dance hall artist. The boy lives in Vegas now. I told him, I said, my man, very talented Liberian dance hall begin. I said, you in Vegas. Vegas is an entertainment town. I get a man several instructions. Go to this bar, take your demo CD. The people will book you because your music is already good. You already got good videos out there. So I resonate with what Al Johnson was saying, because even if you put that management hat on, a lot of these beginners ain't ready, my man. They're not ready. A lot of them are not ready. And I understand the artist development part, because there are times like if you're just starting in music, you have to be developed. Your talent is not ready to go everywhere. You know, your talent might be ready to do a few talent shows, but now that doesn't mean your talent is ready to go across the world. You understand what I'm saying? So I do understand that part, but at the same time, if your manager is giving you instructions, you have to listen to that person. You can't say that person because maybe you doing most of the investment and they managing. That was the thing. And you guys are right. Most of these artists, when you say you want to manage them, they forget that you want to manage them. They think you want to be an investor. Those are 2 different things. You can't be an investor. You can be an investor too. You can help the artists and manage them, but usually it's better to just have one role. If you're going to be an investor, be like, look, I don't want to do nothing with the management. I will give your manager the money for what you need, and he can take care of that, take care of those responsibilities. Or I will be your manager, but I'm not going to touch I'm not going to be an investor taking money out of my pocket, because you, as an artist, really supposed to pay me when I go with you on these shows or whatever. I'm supposed to get paid when I do certain work, PR work. I mean, I remember helping even American artists. So this is not even a Liberian thing. I help American artists produce 2 full albums for some beginning. I get in interviews to go do. The beginning never even acknowledge that I produce their albums. So those kinds of things, when you start experiencing it, you be like, why am I wasting time with this man? When he blows up, he's not even going to look back. He's not going to look back, because it's the simple opportunity he has to go do an interview. He's not even acknowledging all the hard work I've been putting behind him. So
But it's the disrespect, bro. It's a big disrespect with that to start with.
I'm telling you,
Forget the acknowledgement. It's the disrespect to you as a person that's took off your time, your family time, and put sweat equity behind this person. I've been through that, and I'm gonna add to what you said. It was a day that I was sitting there after I've invested all this money in all of these artists, especially 12, to see. I'm gonna name it. This is my emotions speaking. My emotions shouldn't speak. To see Joel's and all those guys in Philly saying, I am the new D12 manager, and you know I've invested my money. 12, you as an artist, you as a good person, you as your child, your son is my godson. I love you and Candice. I helped you throughout the immigration process when none of these people was there in Minneapolis. I was in the cold going to immigration courts. I did all of these things. I'm saying this the first time. I was not D12 manager. I was D12 big brother. I did everything that I could help with. And Candice's wife would tell you, his ex-wife. I was in the immigration court with them. I did everything because I wanted 12. I heard the talent, and I wanted to deliver him to the world. When me and Flex didn't materialize on what I was working on.
Right.
And I said, I would not give up. If I didn't do this with Flex, I would do this with somebody else. And I did all of that. And not only did I do it, I brought an American person down and convinced him to come work with a Liberian artist that he's never heard of before. And I know you guys know that me and James Smith did an excellent job with 12, if you want to be honest.
Right. So
we did a phenomenal job.
To conclude what I was trying to say, a lot of time it's honesty. You know, right now I have DJs in Sierra Leone. And it makes me feel proud, but it makes me feel sad at the same time. I got people in Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria playing my music on the radio, sending me videos, keeping in touch with me. I'm talking about some of these dudes send me videos every single day. I don't even pay them a lot of money, but my own Liberian brothers, I'll send them songs for them to play on the radio. They will send me some kind of video. But when I ask people, well, man, when you get our music on the radio yet, what going on? And and those things, it's not just the artists, it's the whole entertainment industry. It comes to even promoters. Sometimes the promoters do shows with you and they don't even want to, if they're doing shows with you and it's a major artist, they don't even want to put you on stage to perform. Those types of things got to change. So all I'm saying is honesty. We got to start learning how to be honest with each other all the way around, like from the beginning. If an artist feels like they're not ready to take the world, they got straight up manager like, look, man, I think I need more artist development. I need to do a few little shows. I think I'm ready for these big tours. If you are honest with yourself and honest with your manager, everything works out. But if you're not honest and you go in it with a heart full of hate and a heart full of greed, it's never gonna work out. So with that, I'm happy we were able to do this. My name is Mizani. Everybody check out my music. I'm right here in Charlotte. And if
I'll get in contact with you, Mizani.
How can we check out the music, Mizani? Like, where can we see the music at?
Johnson move from that moment. You know me, man. Come on.
Okay. All right. Al Johnson.
I want all. And listen, I just want to clear this out because I know it's going to be a lot of backlash.
You got 3 minutes. You got 2 minutes to close up, but I know it will be a lot of fight because you mentioned all these names.
It's no backlash. I take back some of the things that I said about my interest in working with a Liberian artist, right? When you've been in the situation I've been in, like I've been emotionally drained, hurt. Do you know what it is to get to the door, get the project done, and you can deliver? I'm not the type of person that don't like deliver. I'm like 50 Cent. I would get rich or die trying. I'd rather die trying than go to because I'm going to heaven. Then go to heaven and say I never made it. I never tried. Right? I'm the one that's gonna tell God, my man, I did my best. It didn't work out, my man, but I did it. But at the point, we really and Masonic, just to touch on your point with the DJs, right? Don't fault the DJs. The DJs are DJs. That's their job. You know how you said some of us have professions professions means that's something that you study, right? But that's something that you learn technically, and then you got paid from it. It's a career. It's your profession. It takes care of you, right? So the DJs look at that. The DJs look at the DJs as their profession, right?
Okay.
The problem is not with the DJs not playing your record and giving them a few dollars. The problem is we don't have a structural system. In America, to have a structural system, there are DJ groups. There are coalition DJs. There are hitman DJs. There are this DJs. All those guys get paid to break a record. So if Warner Brothers wants to break a record, they got a new artist they signed named Jeezy, and they want to break that record through the coalition DJs. There is a budget allocated for breaking the record. So when that record is pushed, when MP3 is pushed to the DJs in the environment for the hitman DJs, if they're hired, each individual DJs gets a perch to break that record. Now he's gotten paid through a system, a structural system. Now he can go to the club and break that record in its environment. That's how the records get big in the country, domestically, right? Till we create that system in the African environment, the Nigerians already have it. They don't play nothing else besides their song. So they're organically created.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Let me just get y'all a few websites to go check out. I agree with what you're saying, Al, but at the same time, though, if I call my Liberian DJ brother and be like, my man, I need my record played. Listen to the record, tell me how you feel about it. And he listens to it and be like, yo, this could go, this could go, this could go. I talked to 5 DJs, all of them saying the same thing, but when I send the song, maybe only 2 really play it. Because I do get
that's the point I'm trying to tell you. Hold on. One second.
I just said it. That should be a system when Devino song banana for me because his label went through that same system when they drop in that one era. It goes to all the radio station
It
at
has
once.
to be your system. If the system is not put in place, bro, in the
Yes.
music game, if it's not organically put in place, then it's not going to work. Because what's going to happen, you pay a DJ in Liberia, soon you turn your back, you leave from there, you play it one time, then you never play. One time of a play of a record does not impact the record. It has to be played consistently.
I agree.
As an impact.
That was the first thing I said on this group. That was the first thing I said. Liberia needs a system. I said when I first started, that was the first. If you roll back this, that was the first thing I said. So I do understand all of that. I'm just saying that, you know, it's kind of disheartening when you pay somebody something and they send you a video, but you know deep down they're not even playing the record and other
But
people.
Sonic,
Show now.
Yeah.
you're a victim of that system. So what you do is you identify all of the DJs that have influence in this country that are Liberians here and back home, and let's create the system. You say, "Oh, let's create the system." If we create the system,
create it.
Let me get you the website.
It can be created, bro. It can be created, bro.
I have 3 websites for you to check out. I have a website called vibingwithdjs.com. These are DJs I'm working with and promoters in Jamaica, Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone. I have them on my website.
You think we're different place.
But Sonic, the way you do it first, you
Right.
break it organically. You see, like
Yes.
a hip hop record. If Jeezy is from Atlanta, if Jeezy is being broke, he's from Atlanta. It has to be broke first at home, the home base. So you find the DJs that are influential in Atlanta. You break that organically in Atlanta. Once it's broke organically in Atlanta,
Right.
there are people from other places in Atlanta that's going to call home and tell their family about that record. And that's how that record gets into other markets. It spreads. But it has to first be brought home. So forget the DJs in Jamaica and in India and all of them. Let's identify the DJs here in Liberia, back home and here, and create a system to where they're getting paid for breaking the record.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question.
I just saying, what we have to do in Liberia now, they have more than 75 radio stations in Liberia. We found the best 25 that people listen to often, and create something that if we pay them,
LIBD. That's it.
Yeah, go ahead, do it.
I think it was R. Johnson who said that the people got Nigerian Ghanaians got a song playing on TikTok and other places right now and going all over the world, which is truth. But the question is, those guys who made this song in Nigeria or Ghana or Sierra Leone that play on TikTok, when they see these songs play on TikTok and somebody maybe dancing to that song, and they also have access to TikTok, do they also share their own work?
Yes, some do it. When they are less busy, if somebody, because I've been on more major artists pages, and some share their video, but not all of that. They don't have time. They're too busy, and they don't have time to.
Yeah, but once they see their new song and somebody share it, they will also do it. But this is one of the things that I see with our Liberian artists as well, both gospel or whatever. Listen, we're talking about promoting Liberian music. These people are so proud of themselves.
Yeah, they can share it.
They're not even willing to share. The moment you start sharing their song, it's like you are obligated to share their work. So they will see it playing, they will hear it playing.
They will not help you to even share it.
I'll tell you one thing right now. Since 2003, the gospel music that was made in Liberia, I can bet any gospel artist right now that started singing 2003 or before 2003 to play one of their old songs, if they still have it with them. They don't have it. But I can show you right now, Victor. I got everybody from Ambassador Marum. I got all their songs that were made to chance that they up to present. I'll play it for one of the gospel artists. She was like, what? I've been looking for this song. I've been looking for this song. But let me start playing it on my broadcast tomorrow.
They will not share it.
You will see that they're watching it. They will not share it. So how we're going to go far? You will tell the people, okay, you. They were frustrated. That's when I work for E44s.
But man, I think we should start Liberian Idol.
Yeah. So
I think we should,
what I'm
Victor.
gonna do? Yes,
I think we should start a Liberian Idol.
I
We
think
should put
so.
some money up and get.
Mhm.
We should make it inclusive. Let's
Mhm.
start a Liberian Idol. I know you're good at doing that, Victor. We can do it right there in Charlotte
Mhm.
at one of those
We're
hotels
doing
and
it here
allow.
or in LIB.
Well,
Gotta start from here first.
you got to start.
No, I
LIB
just
don't have
asking.
LIBs don't have the technology. Let's start from here first. We should
Okay.
start a Liberian Idol because there are a lot of Liberian artists out here that don't have the voice because they don't have the social media capacity, and they're
Mhm.
very good, young, talented people, right? I think if we
Mhm.
want to break this industry, really break this industry, we should go back to the core of it and go back and find the real talent. Let all of us pick the talent from the idol. And I want to be, I will invest in that. I would
Mhm.
invest in doing a Liberian idol and get the right Liberian people that in the entertainment industry to help. Let's find this young, fresh talent. And we can
Mhm.
do it right there in Charlotte or Minnesota. Minnesota is a perfect city because that's our hub, right? We can do it at a hotel in
Philly,
Minnesota.
and Minnesota.
Yeah, one of those cities, we can do it there. And then we can find credible judges that will come on board and not be biased, but allow the audience to vote for this idol. And then once we find an idol, right? And
Mhm.
then we can all invest money behind that artist and get
That's
that
good.
artist to get the worldly recognition it needs. I promise you that will work. Because
Okay.
at that point, you're not dealing with no individual person that just got a talent and you're putting your money behind it. You're dealing with somebody that everybody picked, so they have no choice. They have to go by the document that's put in front of them, right?
Right.
And
I
that's
don't
how it works.
I don't see my phone will be off. Don't call me, I gotta sleep.
I agree with
When I
that.
when I when I add it come again, post
No,
You know, I think we can do it, bro.
you,
I think it can happen, bro.
we can do it, but don't call my phone. I'll not hear
But
you
you
saying.
think about it. We would have the control of the artist if we
right.
did that. Because the control wouldn't be where this person just came with a song and it didn't know. We will be lining that artist up with the producers that we like.
Right. Right.
You feel me? We have a delegation that understands it, that will line that artist up with the songs to produce with our Liberian producers that we're going to present to the world. There's got to be a collective thing, guy. It can for us to break Liberian artists, it has to be collectively done. You cannot rely on. I've been there, bro. If you
And
think that you can rely on yourself to do a one artist, bro,
No,
more
you
power.
can.
More
and I
power to you.
Johnson and I Johnson as well as the Liberian DJ. The DJ don't have the problem, but the radio owners, the CEO of the radio stations,
Right.
we put all together about we got over 75 radio stations in Liberia. Take deal with the 75 managers, those that own it, and do somebody talking in the back.
Are you,
Do
Victor, are you talking about Liberia or here? Because I
Yeah,
see.
I'm talking about Liberia now. We've got the American Idol. Whatever one of Liberia Idol is here. But what I'm
Oh,
saying, the same way in Liberia, if you want your music to be heard, we
right.
shouldn't deal with the DJ themselves, deal with the manager themselves. You
No,
put
you know.
all managers together and from radio stations, you say when so and so song drop, each time you see song, because when the manager say play the song, you force to play, you're not gonna pay that
No, no,
CEO.
Veta, it don't work that way. It don't work
No,
that way.
no, but
Some of the manager don't even have they don't have access to what play on the air.
Let me say something quick. I think
no,
what
what I'm saying, with all managers, when we have a budget set for all manager that when we send this song, it should play all the radio station. Manager will tell the station, you make sure you play a song because it's already been taken care of, and that because we bypass some of the managers.
No,
That's why I don't
but
play.
that's how it works, Bob Victor. The radio station has
Thank you.
a program director, a program manager, and a music manager, right?
Hmm.
When the music manager responsibility is to listen to the new artist that's coming in and filter the
Exactly.
record and pass it on to the music director, and then the
Exactly.
program manager is the boss. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Like I said, we just got to create a structure.
what
It's not
Yeah,
hard.
that's what I'm saying.
what he was saying, what Al is saying, the same thing we could do it in Liberia. The,
Yeah.
the same
Yeah,
same Liberian
We
idol.
don't have it right now. That's why we can't get nothing broke. Just create
that's
the
right.
structure.
That's true. That's true.
One
Yeah.
same
But,
Liberian idol
but
come.
you know what? We're gonna end here today because we're gonna be coming every Tuesday.
They seem
Listen,
like
we can do it right here too, bro. You start right here.
right here.
These DJs have to get paid. I'm a prime example of paying people. I would not do a goddamn thing, Boss Victor, without getting paid for no more.
Yeah,
Right?
but
And these
listen, but
DJs, that's
listen,
their
the
job.
station doesn't have one DJ. So if you go through the hair, when the hair made an announcement, the first will play the one saying, "God, one radio station got about 20 DJs." So you get paid them one, but small.
But Boss
If they
Victor,
manage,
the radio station is not the one that's breaking the record. That's 10% of the record being broke. It's the clubs that breaks the record. It's the clubs. Everybody don't listen to radio. Everybody's not listening to radios. It's the clubs that break the record. So you have to create a DJ group. You have to get those DJs that are playing in the
okay, regular
clubs.
Okay, yeah, I understand that one.
Yeah,
We
but
gotta,
those
we don't have
but hear me out, hear me out. Those regular DJs, some of those regular DJs also play at the radio station too. So the radio station program director is relying on a regular DJ to tell him what is hot in the streets. That means what is hot in the club, so that the program director can play it. Be mindful. Every program director at every radio station, right? He gets popular by breaking a record. So if he heard from his DJ that's playing in the streets a new record that Future has that hadn't hit no radio station yet, and he's a Clear Channel radio program director, and he gets that record from the club to his station and breaks that record, that's huge for him. We have to learn this. These are things you have to learn in the business. It's bigger than that. It's a whole, it's just like a Mercedes-Benz or a car. It takes different components. You put all those components together. It looks good, right? But each component play a complex role. At the end of the day, that mechanism is not going to work till each component plays its part. That's how a music is broke. That's how a record is broke. Everybody plays their part.
All right, I see people on here. They want to make a call, but I see people here. They really want to call, but next Tuesday we're going to make sure we have a phone line that people can call. So I apologize that people really want to call and give an input. So it's going to be every Tuesday. We're going to be coming here at 9 p.m. Next week we have Berenice Modiba will be here. We have Black Diamond. We have Bernie Black Keys. So we all will come back here and talk something more, because the more we talk about entertainment, because politics now is taking over, and politicians are the celebrity now these days. So no, but politicians are now the celebrity these days. So
I'm
we gotta
not
come
getting
back
that
to.
one or you. I'm not me. You know how you.
No, I'm just saying. So next week Tuesday we're gonna come back here with two or three other persons, and we'll do better. So I want to say thank you for coming. Next week we're gonna have
for instance, Peter, before you go, if anybody just put a music on and just give it to the president to dance it, that music on wow.
Oh yeah.
I'll talk to you guys later. I love all of you guys. It was great on this conversation.
All right, see you, man.
We'll talk outside the line. Mazonic.
Yeah, what's up?
I love you guys, but let's talk later, guys.
Everybody, check out Africa Welcomes the World by Mazonic.
We'll see you next week Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Everybody, love y'all. Bye bye.